The story of Queen Esther, one of the most inspiring accounts in the Bible, is found in the book of Esther. It is a tale of courage, faith, and divine providence, where a young Jewish woman rises to a position of power and uses her influence to save her people from annihilation. Here's a detailed retelling. The story takes place in the Persian Empire during the reign of King Xerxes, who ruled over 127 provinces. King Xerxes held a grand feast to display the wealth and glory of his kingdom. During the celebration, he commanded Queen Vashti, his wife, to appear before the guests to show her beauty. She refused, angering the king, who then decreed her removal as queen. To find a new queen, the king ordered a nationwide search for the most beautiful young women. Among those chosen was Hadassah, a Jewish girl living in Susa, the capital city. Hadassah, also known as Esther, was an orphan raised by her cousin Mordecai, a devout and wise man. Esther kept her Jewish identity secret, as instructed by Mordecai. She was chosen for her beauty and grace and made queen, winning the king's favor above all others. Mordecai, who served at the king's gate, discovered a plot against the king and reported it, earning his name a place in the royal chronicles. However, he also angered Haman, the king's chief advisor, by refusing to bow to him. Mordecai's defiance stemmed from his faith, as bowing to Haman would signify worship. Haman, enraged, devised a plan to destroy not just Mordecai, but all the Jews in the empire. He persuaded King Xerxes to issue a decree that on a single day, all Jews, young and old, men and women, be annihilated. The date was set for the 13th day of Adar, and the decree was sealed with the king's ring. When Mordecai learned of the decree, he mourned publicly and urged Esther to plead with the king on behalf of their people. Initially, Esther hesitated. Approaching the king uninvited could result in death unless he extended his golden scepter. Mordecai's response was profound. Do not think that because you are in the king's house you alone of all the Jews will escape. For if you remain silent at this time, relief and deliverance for the Jews will arise from another place, but you and your father's family will perish. And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this? Esther 4 verses 13 to 14. Moved by his words, Esther resolved to act. She asked Mordecai to gather the Jews in Susa for a 3-day fast, during which she and her maids would also fast and pray. If I perish, I perish, she declared. After the fast, Esther approached the king. He extended his golden scepter, allowing her to speak. She invited the king and Haman to a banquet. During the feast, she would reveal her request to the king. Meanwhile, Haman built a gallows 75 feet high to hang Mordecai. That night, the king couldn't sleep and had the royal chronicles read to him. He was reminded of Mordecai's earlier act of loyalty in saving his life. The next day, the king commanded Haman to honor Mordecai publicly, a bitter humiliation for Haman. At the second banquet, Esther revealed her Jewish identity and exposed Haman's plot to destroy her people. The king, enraged, ordered Haman to be hanged on the very gallows he had prepared for Mordecai. Although Haman was dead, the decree to kill the Jews could not be revoked. Esther and Mordecai devised a plan. The king issued a new decree allowing the Jews to defend themselves against their enemies. On the appointed day, the Jews triumphed, defeating those who sought their harm. Mordecai was elevated to a position of great authority in the kingdom, and the Jews celebrated their deliverance. This victory gave rise to the Jewish festival of Purim, commemorating the salvation brought through Esther's courage and God's providence. Queen Esther's story is a timeless reminder of bravery, faith, and trusting God's purpose. Despite overwhelming odds, she risked her life to save her people, demonstrating that divine providence often works through human actions.